Let's see what the CorelDRAW interface looks like. When you open the program, you are greeted with this dialog box where you can create a new file or open a recently used file or open one from a folder. This one lets you use a template where you can choose from basic structures, make a few changes, and you will have a new file. The Corel Tutor to learn commands and what's new to know what the changes have been made from the previous version. Here you have the CorelDRAW X3 interface. This is where the name of the file will appear. Below it is the main menu with all these options which open out to a list of commands. The menu bar could be moved around by dragging it with this icon. But I'll leave it at the top. Each of these options has several commands to work with shapes, digital images and text. This row below the main menu is the Properties bar and has the commands that decide the size of the page, etc. This toolbar allows you to change pages, save the file, copy paste and set the magnification. And very important for any drawing work, here are the rulers, the horizontal and the vertical. On the right of the interface here is the color palette. Now, each CorelDRAW file can have any number of pages which are independent of each other. And this tells you which page you are on. It lets you navigate from one page to the other. This on the left of the workspace is the Tools palette. Here are the paint and pen tools and various other tools. These two buttons here are the outline and fill color indications. In the Help option, CorelDRAW has this interesting feature of giving hints to use various tools as you draw. Watch how the hint information changes. On the left, the interface has the Tools palette with the Picker tool at the top. As I pick the Shape tool, see that the hints change to those of the Shape tool, how to use it and what all can be done with it. And the menu for this tool becomes a floating menu. The moment I click the rectangle tool, the hint box tells me how to draw with the tool and how to work with it. Pressing the Control key while dragging gives a square. Now, the tool menu can be moved around like this. Watch as the corners are rounded. So much that it becomes a circle. Now, let's get back to our rounded rectangle. But it's not needed, so select and delete. Let's see how the next tool, the Smudge Tool, works. Watch as I smudge the object towards the inside and towards the outside. See, the outline has been changed to a different shape. Now, change the size of the Edit tool and see how the smudge is larger. Let's roughen the edges with the Roughen Brush tool and make them deeply uneven. The edges can be made rough in detail by changing the properties. Also, note how the sliders help move around the image. Okay, let's clear the page. To learn about the Transform tool, make a square. Watch how it becomes a rectangle. Click on the Free Transform tool and the rectangle can be rotated about any anchor point chosen. Now for the ellipse. Choose a fill color and rotate the ellipse too. Make multiple copies in the rotation path by right-clicking on the mouse followed by pressing Ctrl R to duplicate. Watch how the anchor points of an ellipse are changed. There, you have the petals of a beautiful flower. Let's learn to crop a shape. Here's a rectangle. Watch. You can only drag the corners and make the shape that's needed. If I change the outline to white or background color, the shape is only outlined. With the knife tool, the shape can be cut and even split up into pieces. Interesting, isn't it? I'll use the eraser to remove sections of these shapes. Watch. Ungroup the shapes. These are now separate shapes. Let's make some more interesting shapes. Watch. They can be separated only by using the break apart command. As they are individual pieces, they can be colored differently. Now, if the virtual segment delete tool is used, it deletes the entire segment. But that's not only what it's used for. Let's see its use. First, draw a rectangle and split again. Watch closely. With the virtual line segment, delete the line segment not needed. Now it's clear, isn't it? Let's see how to use the zoom and panning tool. Watch as I move the drawing page in the display area. Use the shaping tool to create a pie shape for pie charts and change the color or change the shape. Up until now, we have been making shapes with straight lines. Let's explore curves. Begin with a rectangle. Create a node and drag it. Make another node and select Curves command. Now watch how the curve is changed. Now let's use the freehand tool and continue to create. This seems like a nice crowned profile. The moment the shape tool is pressed, the freehand drawing gets smooth curves. They can be smoothened till further, like this. Watch. Let's see another freehand drawing. A rough sketch of a leaf. Now, to smoothen out the edges using the Shape Curves tool. From the Curve Flyout menu, choose the Bezier tool to draw Bezier lines. Watch. The curves can be modified and I can continue drawing from the last node without changing tools and the curve doesn't lose continuity. Let's see how two shapes can be combined. Now, you can recognize the Shape Segments tool and the Curve command being used to draw the shape. Here is the second shape ellipse. Use the Shape tool to select the two shapes and from the menu bar at the top, choose the shape combination needed. I have a particular shape in mind. See? Next, there is the Artistic Media tool, which acts as a calligraphy pen, a paintbrush, or an image sprayer. Here, see it as a paintbrush. Now choose the calligraphy-like stroke and write. For English, use a different stroke. Let's make a line drawing with the pen tool. Let's create something else. Create polylines. Make copies by pressing Ctrl D. This set of shapes can be selected and duplicated to make a pattern. Let's see how the interactive connector tool is used. Watch. While making artwork, the dimensions need to be given to the user of the artwork, like the painter or the carpenter. For this, the Dimension Lines tool is used, and it allows one to draw vertical, horizontal, slanted or angular dimension lines.